Right now, begging for help. Good evening. I'm Nancy Grace. I want to thank you for being with us. Bombshell tonight, the shocking moment. A woman rushes out of bed and opens fire on 3 armed burglars who break into her home 4 a.m. Well, she comes out guns a-blazing, shooting one of the burglars dead. The other 2 escape. Tonight, still on the run. But tonight, is she facing criminal charges for defending herself? The first thing I want to do is look at the video. Let's cue that up, Justin, please. Take a look at this. They come in, all of them armed, 2 of them with their faces covered, door wide open. They are running wild. Check it out. Goes back to shut that door so no one on the outside thinks anything is amiss. Little does he know, the woman inside in bed finds out somebody's in her home. Look at them. Now they're heading into the kitchen over on the left, another room on the right, headed toward the woman's bathroom. Whoa, here she comes, guns a-blazing, getting them out of her home. But these gunshots leave 1 person dead. The other 2 escape. On the run tonight. Look at this as they come busting into the home. Armed. Live ammo in those guns, we believe. At this point, she doesn't know anything's going on. She's asleep in bed in her PJs. Well, she finds out quick enough, and there she is, again, unloading that pistol. Not even bothering to aim, but she had a good shot. 1 dead. The other 2 on the run tonight. Justin, let's come out of that because I want you all to hear the 911. Whoa, look at that. Do you see that right there? They're looking right at each other. This is an additional portion of the video. Keep watching. She's having a showdown with the ones in her home from a different angle. We're seeing it in a completely different way. Can you imagine being at home alone and these guys come into your home armed with weapons? Guess they didn't think anybody else was going to fire back. Okay, here we go. Dead. Antonio Leaks, there he is lighting up a blunt right there. ID unknown on the other 2. Now, I want you to hear, joining me is Scott Kilmer, reporter with 106.7. Scott, take a listen to the 911 call as we continue to watch the video.
Hello. Hi.
Hi, this is Gwinnett County Police Department. Someone down 911 from your cell phone. Did you need
911, yes. Somebody coming here.
somebody's in your house?
Yeah, somebody coming in my house. I don't know how they come in.
All right, do you know them at all?
No, I think they brought people. Yeah, I got the hurt. They got the gun. Oh, they kicked the door coming in. They kicked the door?
How many?
Huh? How many people, huh? 2 people. 2 people.
Where are they now?
Yep. They run because I got a gun.
Did they have guns?
Yeah, they got a gun. They opened one for me. And then, I don't know. But they just hit on the wall, so I'm okay.
How many were they?
2. Honey, I got hurt. I got bleeding on my head.
Okay, did they shoot you?
Yeah, they shoot me, yeah.
Where did they shoot you?
They shoot me in the wall, and then...
And the where?
They shoot me in the wall, and then, I don't know, they hit my head here.
They shot you in the war?
Yeah, they don't see the right, just see in the wall.
Oh, wait. Are you talking about the wall of your house?
Huh?
And how many were there? How many people were there?
2 people.
Both of them were black males?
Yes.
Ma'am, are you hurt?
Yeah, I got hurt here. Just near bleeding.
Okay, where are you bleeding from?
The left head.
The left head?
Yes.
Did they shoot you in the head?
Yeah, but they don't shoot. They shoot me. They shoot on the wall.
Okay, so they didn't hit you. They hit the wall.
Yeah. The gun hit the wall, and then yeah, they shoot one in the wall.
Scott Kimbler joining me, News Radio 106.7. So these guys are still on the loose. Hold on, we're going straight out to the scene. Mike Duffy standing by. Mike, what's happening?
A shocking home invasion happened here at the residence you see behind me in Gwinnett County, Georgia. Just before 4 a.m., 3 armed men broke down the front door, and as they looked for cash and valuables, a woman emerged from one of the bedrooms still wearing her night clothes. She opened fire and ultimately killed one of the men.
Joining me there on the scene is producer Mike Duffy. Right now, 2 of the 3 are still on the loose. One is dead. Is she actually facing criminal charges for shooting him? What else can you tell me, Mike Duffy?
Authorities are asking for the public's help tracking down 2 men after a failed armed robbery attempt here in Gwinnett County, Georgia. The incident, all caught on surveillance video, shows the female resident exchanging gunfire with the invaders as drywall debris flies everywhere. The video even shows one of the men breaking through a glass door in his attempt to escape the gunfire. Authorities are hoping that because of the high-quality video and the fact that none of the men were wearing masks means that someone can help identify these individuals.
Okay, Scott Kimbler, 106.7. Tell me what happened, because these 2 guys are still on the run. She is the only witness, and I don't want them coming back on her to keep her from testifying at trial. What happened, Scott Kimbler?
Well, what we have now, police are still looking for these people, but they have really good images of them. In fact, Deion Washington of Gwinnett County Police says it's very unusual that you would have such great footage of a crime actually going down and the high detail. So police have an idea of what they're looking for, and also are aware that these would be associates of the gentleman that was killed. And she is a local restaurant owner, so she is known to a great deal of people there. And so, as you know, as police are looking into this and checking into her business, they do have a great deal to go on.
You know, I don't know that I would call him a gentleman. He broke into the woman's house as she's asleep in bed in her pajamas at 4 o'clock in the morning, home alone, busts in the door with a gun, all of them armed with live ammo, and starts shooting the place up. The woman ends up bleeding from the head. She escapes with her life, and the only picture I've got of him is him smoking a blunt. All right, so I don't know that I would call him a gentleman, but that aside, joining me right now is PIO of Gwinnett County Police Department, Corporal Deion Washington. Sir, thank you for being with us. Take it from the beginning, sir, and tell me what happened.
Basically, as you see on the video, several armed men stormed into a residential home searching for what we believe to be cash. At some point in time, they awakened the homeowner. She ultimately retrieved her handgun and went to investigate the sounds. At that point, she began firing rounds from her handgun and struck at least one suspect in the torso, killing him. He managed to stumble outside and died in the driveway.
With me is Corporal Deion Washington out of Lawrenceville. Unleash the lawyers. With me, Kelly Saindun, family law attorney. Carissa Kranz, a multi-state attorney, and Yale Galanter, famed defense attorney out of Florida who represented O.J. Simpson. All right, Galanter, let's start with you. I see no reason that the homeowner, a female alone in the home, 4 a.m., minding her own business in bed in her PJs, has to take on 3 armed intruders, 2 of which are still on the run. Why should she be charged?
Well, she may or she may not be. I mean, what the law enforcement people are going to look at is whether her actions were reasonable, whether or not she had a right to stand her ground, whether or not she was in imminent fear before she took somebody's life. And the whole idea that just because somebody breaks into your home, you could shoot and kill them is not based in the law. So that's what law enforcement's going to look at. They're going to look at all the facts and circumstances.
Yale. They were armed. They didn't just break in.
I understand that, Nancy, but she may have not. First of all, she may not have known that. She may not have known that. We don't know what her expectation of fear was.
What difference does it make?
We don't know what was going through her mind.
No, wait.
And that's what the prosecutors and law enforcement are going to be looking at.
To Carissa Kranz, multi-state lawyer. Carissa, I disagree with what Galanter just said. You learned that in criminal law first year. You can drive a truckload of cocaine into the state, but then when you go, oh, I thought it was a truckload of turnip greens. Oh, no, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what she knew or didn't know. They came in armed with live ammo. So why should she be charged?
Because, Nancy, she has every right to defend herself in her house, but the moment they abandoned their intent to continue to swap fire with her in the house and leave, she had arguably, she went to the door and shot fire outside that front door, and she had a duty to retreat. In the law, universally, there's usually a duty to retreat. And she didn't retreat. She shot that gun outside the front door and killed someone in the driveway.
It's endless shrimp at Red Lobster with another new flavor you never saw.
It's clearly enhanced. Newly released video.
Sunshine. Morning Express with Robin Meade on HLN.
It's the dramatic newly released video. The woman, a local restaurant manager, is staying in a Spring Drive home with a housemate when she hears the three intruders, guns clearly in hand.
Did they shoot you?
Yeah, they shoot me.
Now we believe that this woman was targeted. This lady, asleep in her PJs, 4 a.m., wakes up. She finds out there are 3 armed assailants in her home. She opens fire, comes out, guns a-blazing, 2 on the loose tonight. 1 is dead. Look at her go. And now she could face criminal charges. Now, how bass-ackwards is that? Listen to this 911 call.
They broke the window here. They ask, okay, they ask me, oh, yeah, this man, what happened? What's my gun? You got my gun. What happened? You just get out of my gun. Yes, you take your gun. What happened to the gun? Gun. Oh, did you put on the
ma'am, do you have a ma'am, do you have a clean dry cloth to put on the wound?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh.
You just say, give me the gun and then you run. God. Okay, find the gun, please.
Who has the gun, ma'am?
Huh?
Who has the gun?
I have the gun. Please, can you come back? I'm just afraid they come back. They broke the door.
Okay, you said they broke the door?
Yes. Honey, they come back later. I just hear something hurt. They try to hit.
All right, so did you ever see them, or you just saw them on a camera?
I never see them before, so I try to look at the camera. Let me put one band-aid in my head, bleeding in my head, okay?
Okay, ma'am, I'm confused. You say you have bleeding in your head?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Ma'am?
I have bleeding on my head. Let me put a band-aid there, okay?
And you do need an ambulance?
Oh, no, this head hurt a little.
Okay, so why does your head hurt?
Because they gone.
Did they hit you with it? Is that what you're saying? Did they hit you with it?
Yeah, the gun hit me, yeah.
Okay.
The gun.
Okay, I understand. So they hit you in the head with the gun?
Yes. No. They opened the gun. They fired.
Good Lord, woman, how many times does she have to tell you her head is bleeding? Why does she keep going on and on and on about how her head is bleeding? What difference does it make? She is injured, and there are 3 guys rummaging around in her home with guns. Matt Zarrell, are you convinced that this lady was targeted? Because she says she doesn't know these guys.
Yeah, the cops are convinced that she's targeted too. Because one thing to note is her Mercedes was actually parked outside, but the Mercedes is not the reason they were there. She has a couple restaurants in the area, and the cops believe that there was possible surveillance at the house and her businesses by these suspects prior to this break-in attempt.
When it's time to move to underwear.
Morning Express with Robin Meade. Weekdays at 6 on HLN.
Somebody's in your house?
Yeah, somebody coming in my house. I don't know how they coming.
As they exchange gunfire with drywall debris clouding the dark home, one man runs through a glass door.
Ma'am.
I'm sorry.
Ma'am, are you hurt?
Yeah, I got hurt here. This is still near bleeding.
The irony that this woman defending her home could possibly face criminal charges herself when 3 armed intruders come into her home, 4 a.m., their guns loaded with live ammo. They are not afraid to shoot. What are they looking for? We now know that this lady owns a couple of restaurants. Had they been watching her? Antonio Leaks is dead. But who are the other 2? They are on the loose tonight. Brazen, armed robbers. Look at her. I want to go straight out to Dr. Imran Ali, a resident physician joining us out of New Haven. Dr. Ali, thank you for being with us. If you look at the video carefully, you see one of them running through a glass door. Maybe, just maybe, there's DNA on that. Now, it won't help me if that's the guy that died. I already know who he is. But what's the chance you could get DNA off that glass?
It's very possible. I mean, when you have glass cutting the flesh, you're going to have definitely some residual blood. But more importantly, you can go and look at local area ERs and local area urgent care centers and see if there's anybody who's been injured in that kind of fashion, who's been sought for treatment. And then we can also narrow down the search that way as well.
Dr. Ali, that's brilliant. Unless that's the guy that she managed to kill. We already know what happened to him. Hold on, let me go to Corporal Dion Washington from Gwinnett County Police Department. Again, Corporal, thank you so much for being with us. Whoever the perp was that ran through the glass, is he Antonio Leaks or is he one of the other 2, Corporal?
No, he's actually one of the other 2. Antonio Leaks is going to be the shortest male in the video surveillance. He's actually the one wearing the wig.
Gotcha. Oh, okay. He was wearing a wig. Boy, they put a lot of thought into this, Corporal. So then there may be blood on some of that glass. And another thing, Corporal, Corporal Dion Washington, special guest joining us tonight. Corporal, ballistics could play a big role because they all started firing. If we can get a bullet and trace it back to a gun, assuming, it's not stolen, we might hit the jackpot right through ballistics. What about that, Corporal?
Yes, that's correct. Our hope is that through the crime scene being processed that morning, we're able to link any shell casings from the scene with a weapon that we may recover once we apprehend these suspects.
To Dr. Imran Ali, resident physician joining us out of New Haven. Dr. Ali, the one person died from a gunshot wound to the torso in the driveway. Do you think he went into shock? How long would it have taken him to die?
Well, most commonly, when you have gunshot wounds to the torso, you have the highly vascularized organs like the spleen that ruptures. And most often that people die usually from hemorrhagic shock.
Alicia lawyers, Sandon, Kranz, and Galanter. Galanter, I don't want anybody to bleed out in the driveway. I don't want anybody to die, period. But what do you think is going to happen when you go into somebody's home armed? What do you think is going to happen to you? Nothing?
Well, the perpetrators were obviously looking for money or something of value. That's why they went in. That does not necessarily give the right the homeowner just to start shooting.
Back
and
on
what
that
the police
again?
are going to do, yes, Nancy, what the police are going to do is they need to set up the crime scene, analyze the crime scene, figure out what shells, what bullets came from what guns, who fired first, what the reactions were. And
somebody
then
comes into my house at 4 a.m., and my twins are there with me. Oh, yeah, somebody is going to go down. I can just tell you that right now. I mean, you know, Carissa Krantz, somebody comes in at 4 o'clock in the morning. What do you expect the homeowner to do?
You're right, Nancy. The homeowner is going to open fire, but those guys already left the front door. They were swapping fire inside the house. And who knows, it's possible that one of those gunshots that killed one of the intruders was from one of the other intruders, and maybe a felony murder charge will be on the table.
You know, I was going to bring that up. Kelly Saindon, family law attorney, it's just incredible to me that this woman could possibly face charges. Why should she face charges?
Well, I was a former prosecutor, and what the prosecution has to do, the prosecutor has to look at weighing the public interest versus privacy rights. And I agree with you that as a homeowner, you would want to come out guns blazing. It's, did she become an aggressor? Did she overstep her bounds? Did she stop protecting herself and her property? And did she then go after and target these people versus, I'm now safe, but now I want to kill them to get even? So that's what the prosecutor has to weigh out.
When you're suffering from
Kayla, right here on HLN.
Brangelina is over. As we go to air, Oscar winner, movie superstar